Today, we're doing something a bit different, really interesting. We've got this YouTube video. Basically, it's just, a bunch of everyday chats.
Right, little snippets of conversation.
Exactly. And our mission, our goal here is to sort of pull apart these conversations.
Okay.
Look for insights into, daily routines, how people talk to each other, maybe even those subtle cultural things hiding in plain sight.
Yeah, it's more than just eavesdropping, isn't it? It's like using these normal chats as a window.
Yeah.
Into how we actually live, how we interact day to day. And for you, the learner listening in, this isn't just about vocab or grammar.
No, definitely not.
It's a real chance to see authentic interactions, how people connect. You might even see bits of your own life reflected back.
That's the hope. So shall we dive in? Maybe start with those morning scenes.
Let's do it. The mornings are quite telling, actually.
Okay, so right off the bat, the video shows this stark contrast. It really jumps out.
You've got Margot first.
Yeah, Margot. And her morning is a complete disaster, digitally speaking. Lost project data.
Oh, that feeling. I think we've all been there, right?
Yeah.
With technology just deciding, nope.
Totally relatable. And then you see Elena's reaction. It's immediate.
Yeah, oh my God, that's horrible. Just pure empathy.
It is. And it makes you think, how do we react when someone's having one of those moments?
Well, what's interesting, too, is Elena almost instantly asks about a backup.
Right. The backup plan.
It just shows how, we rely on this tech, but we're also kind of aware it can fail us any second. But the backup Margot has isn't quite the original, which that itself says something, doesn't it?
It does. It's like how we manage risk, the compromises we make. Is the backup really a backup if it's not, complete?
That's a great question. Is good enough really good enough when disaster strikes?
Exactly. That trade-off. Then, boom, the scene shifts. Complete change of pace.
To Tony and Rosie.
And their morning feels, almost like the antidote to Margot's chaos.
Very intentional. They wake up, they exercise together.
Yeah, the stretching, a little bit of cardio, deep breathing. It's all together.
It's not just two people in the same house. It's a coordinated start to the day.
That's what gets me. Is this typical, or is this a very deliberate approach to being a couple?
Well, that level of synchronicity, it probably points to them really valuing that shared time, focusing on well-being together.
Makes sense.
Their whole routine exercise, making breakfast side by side, omelets and toast.
Discussing the day, what to wear.
Right. It suggests a lot of coordination, maybe good communication habits. Maybe it helps the rest of their day go smoother.
Could be. But it also makes you wonder, like you said earlier, where's the spontaneity? Is it too structured?
That's the balance, isn't it? Routine versus flexibility. Always a negotiation in relationships, I think.
And then Tony whips out the surprise pancakes for Rosie.
Yes. The pancakes.
It's small, but it says so much. Just thinking about making the other person happy.
Absolutely. Those little unexpected things, they often mean more than grand gestures, don't they?
They really do. They show you're paying attention.
Exactly. Attentiveness, care. It reinforces the bond. Makes you think, what are the small ways we show that to people?
Good question. Okay, so moving on. The workplace. More interactions, navigating the workday.
We see Elena again, this time helping Alana.
Right, the project report issue. An incorrect formula in the computer. So common.
Super common. What's interesting is Alana's initial hesitation.
Yeah.
She struggled for a bit first.
Yeah, and Elena gently says, ask sooner next time. Why do we wait? Why hesitate to ask for help?
Well, often it's maybe fear of looking like you don't know what you're doing, or just wanting to solve it yourself.
Right, maybe.
Could be. But Elena's response is key. Don't worry, everyone makes mistakes.
Yeah, that takes the pressure off.
It creates what they call psychological safety, right? Makes it okay to admit you need help. It's actually a strength.
So true. How do workplaces encourage that safety to ask?
That's the million-dollar question for good teamwork. And notice how quickly it gets solved once Elena looks. Fresh eyes often spot the simple thing.
Definitely. And then we hear about the team meeting coming up, the report deadline. It grounds it all in, real work pressure.
Adds that layer of reality.
And of course, the most critical discussion, lunch.
Yes, lunch. Avocado toast versus salad.
Or something more exciting. It seems trivial, but this kind of banter, these food debates, they're totally part of office life.
They really are. And they're not just about food. They build social connections, little moments to chat, connect beyond the spreadsheets.
Yeah, true.
And that phrase someone uses, don't knock it till you try it. It's about influence, isn't it? How we nudge each other's tastes, even with food.
Huh. Never thought of it quite like that. A microcosm of social influence.
Kinda, yeah. In a lighthearted way.
It's funny how those small chats build the team feel. And we see more of that. Team updates, project progress talks, new software mentioned.
Paints a picture of a busy, collaborative place.
And Rosie's got a client presentation coming up. The team seems supportive.
Right, that sense of we're in this together.
Yeah.
Support is huge for something like a big presentation.
Absolutely. It boosts confidence.
And don't forget the tea break.
The tea break. Very important. Egg tart. Cupcake.
Coffee, orange juice. And someone offering to grab snacks for a colleague who's swamped.
See, those little acts again. Consideration.
Crucial for morale, for that positive vibe. It builds community, even at work.
Okay, let's shift gears. Personal relationships now. We get some really relatable scenes here.
Like the sisters catching up.
Yes. Talking about their family, mom's gardening, dad's DIY projects going wrong.
It's instantly familiar, isn't it? That shared history, the inside jokes, even the complaints sound affectionate.
Totally. And the simple, you should call mom. So universal.
It really is. It taps into that connection, that sense of, family obligation, but also care, even when you're apart.
Yeah, that unspoken bond. Then we switch to Elena and Tom. Playful banter.
Right, about the dress she bought.
Such a steal. Well spent. We all say stuff like that, right?
Definitely. And his gentle teasing about how many dresses she owns.
Yeah, it's comfortable. That's how you know it's a good friendship. You can rib each other a bit.
Exactly. It signals trust, ease. It's affection, not criticism. And those phrases, steal, well spent, they rely on shared ideas about value, shopping. Adds to the fun.
Then we get another Elena and Tom, a different couple this time.
Saying so, yeah.
Making evening plans. Take out tacos.
Nice and simple.
It's just so normal,
Yes.
casual. How many evenings end up decided just like that? Let's just get tacos.
Loads, probably. It's about ease, comfort, connection after a long day. Simple pleasures are important.
True. But then, movie night with Margot and Elena again. Different dynamic.
Yeah, a little disagreement brewing.
Over movie genres, romance versus gritty realism. So relatable.
It is. And they have that minor clash, but then they apologize.
And resolve it with ice cream.
The classic peace offering.
It shows how friends navigate those little bumps, right? Value the friendship more than winning the argument.
Healthy conflict resolution, right there. Apologize, compromise, move on with ice cream.
But just as things get comfy, bams, Mr. Molaris.
Ah, yes. The landlord. Talk about a mood shift.
Seriously, speaking of the devil, suddenly feels very appropriate.
It's that jolt back to reality, isn't it? Rent is due. Adult responsibilities crashing the party.
Yep. Shows that dynamic too, tenant and landlord. Can be awkward.
Definitely brings in that layer of financial reality that's always kind of humming in the background.
Okay, back to Tony and Rosie. End of the day.
The long-term couple.
Planning a date night. But at home, with wine.
After a busy day, yeah. It shows that intention again, doesn't it? Making time for the relationship.
Carving out that connection time, even when you're tired, it takes effort.
Absolutely. It reinforces their commitment. Just choosing to focus on each other, even simply.
And then they're cooking together, stir fry.
And reminiscing, talking about how they met, the early days.
That shared activity, cooking, talking. It's bonding, isn't it?
Definitely. It's weaving their history into the present. Revisiting those good memories strengthens the connection.
Building on that foundation.
Nurturing the relationship history.
Then we get those really sweet, intimate moments later.
Like the playful race to the bedroom.
Yeah. And then Rosie has a nightmare.
And Tony's right there, comforting her.
That phrase, whatever helps you sleep at night, it's usually kind of dismissive, but here it's so tender.
Completely different meaning. It shows real care, support, being there in vulnerable moments. That's deep connection.
Okay, few more bits. Everyday errands, quick things.
Right. Like the interaction at the store, promotion on chips.
Barbecue chips, and the person just politely says, no thanks.
Standard stuff. We navigate those little sales pitches constantly, setting a boundary politely.
Just part of being out and about. And then someone heading to the grocery store after work.
Juggling, right. Need stuff for a team project and stuff for baking at home.
That juggling act, work and life.
Yeah.
Grabbing groceries. So familiar.
And the detailed list. Dinner tonight, meals for later.
It really shows the mental load, the planning that goes into just running a household, feeding yourself.
Yeah, the practical side of life. All that background organizing we do.
And just woven through all of this, you hear these phrases pop up again and again.
Everyday language.
Like, how's your morning going?
Yeah.
Standard greeting.
Or the replies, on top of the world versus...
Dragging myself through the mud captures the feeling perfectly.
They're like social shortcuts, aren't they? Quick ways to connect, check in.
Yeah. And we heard, such a steal, again, for the dress. Well spent.
Showing satisfaction, value.
Don't knock it till you try it over lunch choices.
Encouraging someone to be open-minded.
Speaking of the devil, when Mr. Molares showed up, perfect timing in a bad way.
These idioms, they just slip into conversation naturally. They add flavor, nuance. Seeing them used here is great for learners.
Totally. Then there's this close to falling asleep. We've all felt that.
Oh, yeah. And no regrets. Contentment.
And you really notice the tone, the level of casualness changes, right?
Definitely. How you talk to a work colleague isn't how you talk to your partner or your sister.
Those subtle shifts in politeness, formality.
It's social intelligence in action. We adjust automatically based on who we're with. Signals respect, intimacy.
Exactly. You can almost hear the relationship dynamics in the language style.
And the flow feels real. Interruptions, topic shifts. It's messy, like life.
Not a neat script. Okay, so wrapping this deep dive up, what are the main takeaways? What stands out from watching all these little moments?
Well, I think what's really striking is just how much richness there is in the ordinary. These aren't dramatic events, mostly.
No, very everyday.
But they show so much. We see empathy, like with Margot. We see intention in relationships, like Tony and Rosie.
The dynamics of work, collaboration, asking for help.
The comfort of routines, family connections, navigating minor conflicts, dealing with responsibilities like rent.
And all those communication nuances.
Right? These seemingly mundane interactions are actually, the very fabric of our lives. They're how we build connections, navigate our world.
So maybe a final thought for you, the learner listening in. Think about your own day. How do these kinds of moments show up for you? What are the recurring conversations, the little interactions that define your routine?
Yeah. What can we actually learn about connection, about communication, just by paying closer attention to these brief exchanges in our own lives?
Maybe looking at our own everyday interactions with this kind of lens. It could offer a fresh perspective, couldn't it? An appreciation for the small stuff, the way we connect.
Definitely worth considering how these little threads weave together the bigger picture of our lives.
Something to mull over. Thanks for taking this deep dive with us today.